the people's time. Good night, everybody. Party executives, officers, my leader, I understand is coming here in a minute. If he hasn't arrived yet, all of you, thank you so much. West Grand Mohammed Bimini, are you here? Let me tell you something. Last night, I watched in the nation's capital as the Red Sea came together. You know, we're getting there. My grandma used to say, time is drawing nigh. And I want to make an appeal to all of you here tonight. This is a serious time for our country. And I told you the last time at our candidates launch, this ain't no game. The lives of our people are at stake, and the Free National Movement will make sure that each and every one of you have a Bahamas that you can all be proud of.
Election day, PFP gone. Election day, PFP gone. Election day, PFP gone.
They've been gone. I am here and I bring you greetings from all the people of West Grand Bahama and Bimini. Let me tell you, we have been campaigning for the last few weeks, and what we have witnessed in our community and throughout our country is a crying shame for any government to say that they believe in Bahamians, and we experience and witness what we're witnessing on the grounds. I can tell you one thing, they are lying.
Lies, can't take them no more. Lies.
I have been to Bimini. I continue to trek throughout West Grand Bahama and Bimini. And the stories that we are being told are heart-wrenching. I start by letting you know of the most recent hurricane that we experienced, Hurricane Matthew. There are people in our communities who are still waiting for their supplies.
Are you serious?
They are still waiting for supplies to be dropped to their homes, to have been told that they would be helped, but to find out that their names are on that list where there is no help. And guess who they voting for? They're FNM, right? They know, they target, and they actually victimize people because of their choices. This is a government that cannot be returned.
Election day, PFP gone. Election day.
I am at the point. I am at the edge. It's the winning edge, though. Because, I tell you no lie, we have witnessed in homes where children are going hungry. Not because of the fact that they're just to be hungry, but because of the fact that they were promised help from a government that continues to turn their backs on the people. It ain't about believing in Bahamians if you ain't gonna back up those words. PLP, you are a disgrace to the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Fire them, throw them out. Fire them, throw them out.
It's too serious. It's too serious. We can't sit in our corners anymore. We can't pretend like we don't have a right to use the thumb, as Kwesi stated earlier. For those of you who have registered to vote, I urge you to vote. Don't sit back. I know you're disenfranchised, you're frustrated. You feel this way because the government has been so poor in the job that it is supposed to do that you don't even want to take a right that you have and get it done. But I admonish each and every one of you who have voted, show up at the polls. Show up at the polls. Do what you have to do at the polls. Vote them out.
Fire them, throw them out. Fire them.
You know, it is just so interesting that every time we announce we're having a rally, then they announce they're having a rally. It is petty, petty, petty. We don't need nobody who is in government that is so petty that every time we make a move, they want to come to see who's best. Well, look at this. I'll tell you who's best.
Y'all know what time it is. It's the people's time.
You want to compete. You want to see who draw the most numbers rather than going to those offices of yours and think of policies and programs and legislation that will help our people. You want to compete with a parade? You want to compete with a rally? Why don't you compete with making some good out of your government?
Give a fire burning in my soul. Give a fire burning.
I come to you tonight on behalf of the young people. The stories that I have been hearing of young people who are being promised jobs to work for the next. One, two. I have heard stories of young people who all want a job, just a job to be able to provide for themselves, to have a future that is bright. Young people who are being pulled into a program right now and who are being told that if you don't vote for the PLP or if you don't wear a gold shirt, you won't have a future. Well, I say to them, the devil is a liar.
Give a fire burning in my soul. Give a fire burning.
Let me tell you something. You don't have to let them determine your future because you are the future. What you decide on May 10th will let them know exactly who's in charge.
Fire them. Throw them out. Fire them.
I speak to every young person tonight who has ever wondered whether or not this country is one to fight for. Yes, it is. You start by voting. You start by showing them that you have the power and that ain't no politician can determine where you go, how you go, and when you go. Yes, we're here. We're here to facilitate for you. We're here to help assist in building your community. But you are the community. You're the ones that will make the difference in the way that your community thrives. Yes, the politician is here, and yes, they'll come and they'll make some promises. I'm not the one to make promises. I'm the one to make the promises come to reality, baby.
Election day. PLP gone. Election day.
I'm a worker. I have had long years of talking. I want to work for you, West Grand, Bahama, and Bimini. You know, they have a story in my campaign right now. Every time they try to work and I go in there and I start to get my hands dirty, they tell me go to the side. They go, we don't need you to help. Go sit down. Go sit down. West Grand, Bahama, I'm not an MP that's going to sit down. I'm going to work with you and I'm going to work for you. I'm going to get my hands in the flour just like you get your hands in flour. When you're out in the field and when you're raking the yard, I'll be raking the yard. I am about you. I am a part of you. I am West Grand, Bahama, and Bimini.
Give a fire burning in my soul. Give a fire burning.
You know, the story is always told about my grandmother who was a PLP. Yes, she was. She was a strong PLP who raised strong FNM children, baby. She was proud of her children. She respected her children. Her children respected her choices. She was in the PLP that excluded you because you were an FNM. She was in the PLP that victimized you because you're an FNM. She was in the PLP that closed the door because you're an FNM. She was the PLP that welcomed you out. A lot that you can learn from today. So my grandmother, yes, Irene Parker Rule was a PLP, but she was the best PLP that you would ever see. Our family today is an FNM family. And for those of you who don't know it, my family is with me all the way. I speak to you for the women, for all the women across the Bahamas, all the women in Grand Bahama. As a mother, I am tired of realizing that in our school system, our children are being disenfranchised. Why is it that my child have to take paper to school when the government should be providing for them in the school? Why is it that my child have to go to a classroom that is so full? Why is it that teachers have to go above and beyond when they don't have supplies? You're telling me that you care and you believe in the people? As I said earlier, that is rubbish. If you cared, you would care enough to put in place everything that they need. If you cared, you would care enough to ensure that they live better lives. Women, don't let them fool you. This is our time. As Lincoln made it earlier, the youth and the women vote will make a difference. For all those single mothers out there who continue to struggle daily, who are going to social services and getting turned away, who need help, they're sending you to a social services department and there's nothing there. They're turning you away. This isn't a government that cares. There's a lot that we can talk about tonight, but there's one thing that I want you to remember. The Progressive Liberal Party is no good for you, and they're a problem for the Bahamas. On May 10th, West Grand Bahama, I want you to envision a community that is filled with everything for your children, for entrepreneurship, everything that you have ever dreamed of. You know what your community needs. I know what your community needs. Forget about the talk. Let's get with the walk. It's action time. Good night, everybody. Let's do it.
If tomorrow